Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, 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 everybody. Hello, Gary. Hello to you. I hope you're doing fabulous this Thursday. Hello to everyone. You know what's coming next? You know what's coming next? I am very excited about today's inspiration. I'm really excited about today's inspiration. Hello, Ashley. And you know what I really like about today's inspiration? My intention when we talked about this inspiration and my intention when I wrote this inspiration. Hello, Haley, to you. Hello. I'm glad that you're here for your seconds as well. I know autocorrect makes a lot of Manal's manual, and it cracks me up. But what I'm excited about today is I intentionally, in the beginning, my intention was literal light. And the more I reflected on my intention of the literal nature of light, and I reflected on our last inspiration when we talked about light, there was a lot of efforting. Hello, Sporty Jen, to you. Good evening to you. This is a later time accommodating a lot of the European. I don't quite think I accommodate the New Zealand and Australia, but I'm trying. 3 o'clock, I don't know. You guys all have to tell me if I'm on my game at 3 o'clock like I am at 9 and 10. But coming back to light, I recognized when we were talking about light during the last, there was a lot of efforting and a lot of convincing and a lot of logicking. And when I was thinking about this inspiration and thinking about the literal versus the symbolic, I recognized, you know what, Manal? It doesn't really matter. It does not matter whether it's literal or symbolic about our light. And really just let's talk about the essence of lighting and connecting and igniting our light. So, okay, Gary, Ashley, Haley, Sporty Jen, do you connect with your light? And what does that mean to you? And I was thinking about light, and there's so many synonyms for light, because I realize we say you're radiating, you're brilliant, you are shining, you are bright light. There's so many ways that we describe people in a way that's light. Haley, I haven't been able to visualize light of late. And Haley, that's fantastic. And that's what I realized, you know what? We're not going to effort light. I don't want us to do something that's not natural to us. What I want us to know is that we are beauty and we are light and we have a radiance within us, that if we connect with that radiance, then it directs us to our truth and allows life to come from a place of ease and flowing. And sometimes, even like I think about getting ready for these inspirations, sometimes I effort it. But then when I sort of come and allow my light to express itself, it's so much more easy and so much more of a flow. So let's ask the question, do you all feel connected to your light? Do you look at yourselves literally or symbolically? Do we want to talk about it literally or symbolically? So Haley, do you know that you're light? Do you know that you have a light? Do we want to use a different word other than light? Sporty Jen, it feels more of an intermittent light for me. I don't always recognize it. Okay, fantastic. This is fantastic because Gary, I'm really not sure. Generally, what should I feel? Okay, Gary, fantastic question. This is what I was going to ask back. Think about the times that you are connected to your light. What does it feel like? I'll start because I have the mic and there's a lag. But when I'm connected to my light, I'm very certain. I'm confident and secure. I'm so light. I'm not in my mind. I'm in my flow. And it doesn't mean that my mind's not working, because sometimes I could be working, powerhousing in here, and I'm connecting to light. So it's not light engaged or mind engaged, not engaged, but it's coming from Gary, great, freeing. Connected to the light is freeing. Sometimes when I'm on a bike, and I don't necessarily love biking, But sometimes when I go on the bike on the trail, there's a moment there that I get that I'm like, oh, this is why people do it all the time. It just sort of feels like you said, Gary, free. Free falling in roller coasters, or a few times I've done some of those adrenaline seeking free falling. I know there's a moment in there that you get connected to something bigger than yourself. So connected to your light is maybe connected to something bigger than your physical. Light, inner being, inspiration, flow. Sporty Jen, I am glowing, at peace, happy, laughing, light, not being stuck in a negative thought or feeling. Fantastic. And why is that a question mark? I think that's a beautiful statement. So when we're connected to our light, we're glowing, and it's another light verb, glowing, because it's an ing. It's a glowing. You look, I think it's a verb. I am glowing, or is it an adjective? Because I am glowing, but it doesn't matter. It's a verb. I am glowing, which is a light, glowing. I'm at peace. I'm happy. I'm laughing, which is free. Those are all the freeing words. Light. And then the alternative is stuck. So not radiating, stuck in thought. And even stuck in feeling. Those other feelings are flowing feelings. Peace, happy, laughing. Gary, so are you really enjoying yourself in the things that you're doing? Gary, I think you're just being. How is that? And I'm going to ask you, are you just truly just enjoying yourself? Are you present? Is being in your light meaning being present? And Sporty Jen and Gary, when you're sort of thinking about being free and glowing, peace, happy, and laughing, are you stuck in the past, in the future? Or are you present? Are you present? Nothing being conflicted in the present moment. So interesting. So maybe this is what today's exercise will be, because a lot of us, we said last time, well, I don't really know what it is if I am in my light, and what is my light, and how am I in my light, and what does in the light mean? And so maybe in your light means being present. It's a synonym for present. When you're glowing and radiating, you're present. You're allowing yourself to all be flowing. I keep using the word flowing because I think light is energy and movement. We're flowing. So we're present. Haley, fantastic. I am stuck in the past. And if we want to detangle, so Gary, Sporty Jen, everybody, hello, Valerie, to you. When you're stuck in your mind, when you're, like Sporty Jen said, stuck in a negative thought or feeling, is that a present? Or is it thought or feeling from the past or the future? Very interesting. I never thought that we would get to time so early with this. Sometimes it's in the past, sometimes it's in the future. Fantastic. But wherever it is, it's not in the current timeline. It's not in the current timeline. Fantastic, fantastic. So I did want to play some games. Okay, I did want to play some games. So right now we're talking. I want everybody to just, for a moment, I'm not even going to have us start with breathing, but let's just connect with, let's start with an easy one. Okay, I'm going to be easy. Let's be present together. And if you want to focus on your breath, focus on your inner being, your inner self, your light, if you would like. Go team, says Gary. Okay, fantastic. Focus on something physical or something emotional. Just let's get present together, okay? And then, okay, let's get present. My heating unit just turned on. And there's this little whistle. So I'm focused on that whistle. And then I'm connecting to my inner knowing, my inner being, my inner strength, and my light. Fantastic. Okay, now everybody come back into the virtual room. Tell me how you're feeling. Fantastic. Valerie, I just did a breath practice and I was so present with myself. I connected with a lot of fear. Fantastic, fantastic. And Valerie, was it freeing? Did you find it freeing? So how did you all feel? Did you connect with light? Were you present? And was there anything that was in the way? Was there anything that was in the way? Haley, fantastic. I just felt a sense of strength just then. Fantastic, fantastic. Sporty Jen, my boys are here with me in the present moment. Wonderful. It took me to a place of love and light. Brenda, fantastic. So this is really interesting. Again, I started off, and when I was reflecting on the preamble, are we going to be literal with light? Or are we going to be symbolic? And I know we got here from being literal. We were in the end of the inspiration. I said, okay, everybody connect with your light, or do you see your light? I see your light. And there was a lot of like, oh, my light? What's my light? Do I have light? Do I connect with my light? And for me, anytime, and there's a lot of sending love and light, and anytime there's something that we're all not calibrated to, it's an opportunity. We have an opportunity for us to define so we increase our knowledge base, and we're connected, we're present, we're light. So Gary says, my fireplace has a little whistle, so I was present. Fantastic. And I love using auditory. I used to think that I wasn't auditory, and then now and that more and more I realize auditory is a very strong strength with me, and it's giving me a lot more than I had realized in the past. So I love sometimes using visual to get present and just focusing. Okay, everybody just focus on a spot. So sometimes I use just the visual to get present. Lately, I've been really enjoying auditory, just listening to something. Sometimes I use smell. While I'm eating, I use my taste buds, and then sometimes just the sense of touch, even a massage or something. So somebody touching me or me touching something. So I use my 5 senses and I play with them and have fun with checking on which one allows me to get present, and actually using them all and getting able to be present more and more using all 5 entrance ways. And obviously, I don't like that word, but breathing, which Valerie just said, is a wonderful way to always get present as well. Valerie, honestly, a lot of resistance on the fear, but I also noticed how I was compassionate with myself, saying, hey, it's okay to struggle with this. It's okay to feel. Fantastic, Valerie, fantastic. And do you know what the resistance to fear was? Was it fear of the fear? What was it? Brenda, I don't know if I believe that you have created a space that always trusts Manal, which allowed me to go there. Fantastic. And this is a space that we've collectively made. This is a space that we collectively hold. And before we enter this room, and I didn't do it today, but I think I have this virtual intention for it, but I can create it now. I just sort of imagine a space where we're all holding light, is the word that comes to my tongue, that we're all holding the space for each other, and we're all holding the intention for everybody's growth, and to see each other from a place of strength and love and compassion. Fantastic. Okay, Gary, sometimes I feel like I'm half in and half out. Is that possible? Gary, explain what that half in and half out is. Is there one part of you that's going and then the other part is judging whether you're going or not? I know in the beginning I was always wanting to expect what my outcome would look like. So I had this preconceived notion, or I used other people that said, this is what happens when I zone, and waiting for something to happen, waiting for a feeling. So there was a part of me that was meditating or going in, and then there was another part that was judging whether I was doing it right. So is that the half in, half out that you're talking about, Gary? And so I had a half in, half out for a while. And then one day I realized I'm just going to let the journey express itself as it expresses itself when it expresses itself. And I'm going to stop expecting to be, I'm going to use the same word, to express myself for my meditation outcome. I'm going to stop waiting for outcome. I'm going to stop thinking that something should happen. And I'm just going to enjoy the journey and not do it for outcome. I'm doing it for internal, not for external. So when I recognized that I was conditioned to judge my meditation or my going in practice because I was waiting for an outcome and measuring whether or not I was doing it right and had a judgment. And I'm like, you know what? I'm doing this ride because it feels good and I'm going to let go of all judgment. I was able to flow with it more easily and be more present with it. So Gary, I think so. That's kind of how I would describe it. Fantastic. So look for your judgment, your self-judgment, your expectation of outcome and feeling some way. And then just sort of like Valerie's talking about, recognize that resistance. So that resistance, that judgment, and just sort of surrender to it. And say, hey, I see you, but I'm doing this because I'm internally calibrating. I don't want to externally calibrate anymore. I'm internally calibrating. How does that feel to you, Gary? Valerie, the resistance was judgment on the fear. I saw someone with an illness and they gained weight. I have a lot of judgment on my fear of gaining weight. I don't want to compare with others or judge others for what they look like, but I do when I feel fearful when I see it. Okay, fantastic, Valerie. There's also a lot of shame with the judgment. Fantastic. And then I'm going to ask you, and again, we're doing it intellectually, and if all of you are feeling a resistance now, I know Gary just talked about a resistance, if we want to dive in, because today I actually felt like it was going to be more, when I visualized the light, I'm like, well, light means going in. I did imagine we'd be popping in, popping out, and playing with our meditation practices and playing with light and doing different things. So if you guys are good for that, let me know. But Valerie, okay, let's do it. Gary said, I'll dive. Okay, so Valerie's talking about resistance, okay? I want all of you to connect somehow with resistance. Valerie's sharing the shame and the judgment and on the fear. And so again, I'm gonna start to talk more slowly. I'm gonna get into meditation mode. And I'd like you all to connect with your bodies and invite resistance. Feels a bit crazy that we're going into inspiration, and I'm encourage you to invite resistance. And it might be easy. You might feel it in your body. There might be a body part that's chronically hurting. Internal organs, like any part of an illness that you have, an autoimmune or a chronic, or it's something physical on your body, like your arm, your leg, not the other one isn't physical. You can enter through there. If you want to enter through emotion, like Valerie was talking about her shame and judgment, enter through emotion. If you want to enter through your mind, the stories that you have or the judgment, even if those stories are true on the physical, they're a gift of resistance, so enter in there. And when we're entering with the resistance, the intention is to play with it. It's not to indulge in it. It's to enjoy this deconstructed key lime pie that will shortly be pumpkin pie on next Thursday, a week from today. Just sort of enjoy the flavor of the resistance and recognize that sometimes you hold, and you might be holding resistance to that resistance. And if you are, just smile it. Smile. Love. Acknowledge. Be open to your body, giving you messages from all three bodies, from your physical, the physical pain or the judgment on your physical self, be open to seeing the associated emotion, fear, shame, anger, sadness. Be open to the thoughts, the stories, the mind, the storyline that you have going on. And if there's any beliefs that you carry, beliefs of being bad, not good enough, it's my fault, because we're having fun with this today, let's fly into the timeline. Let's go. Let's boom. You all know what to do. Let's go into your mother's womb. Go into your mother's womb and see if you can receive where you picked this up. We're going to fly through your timeline, and sort of this is going to be a flavor, a cookie flavor, like a cookie cutter. And we're going to sort of figure out where you got this conditioning from a place of curiosity and the recognition that we're solving a puzzle. We're looking for information and that we can digest, and this is information we're freeing ourselves. And so it's not from judgment, it's not from fear, it's not from good enough, it's just from like, wow, this flavor of energy of this, maybe it's fear and the mind telling you that maybe I'm afraid to get better. You won't like it when you get there. Your mind might be telling you something, and your emotion, that feeling of fear and the physical feelings of it. So go into the womb and see whether you picked it up in the womb. The energy of your mom, your dad, people around you that was in there, siblings, family members, friends. See if it's from generational, if your grandparents, your great-grandparents, if it came from lineage, that there's something that you're supposed to learn and your whole family line is learning it together and growing and expanding. Imagine yourself as a baby. See if you picked it up in your early weeks, early months, early years. Sort of fly through your timeline. You're a toddler, a young child, a teenager, in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s. Fly to where you are today and just enjoy the information that you've received and a recognition that, hey, nothing is personal. This is just a vibrational journey. A beautiful vibrational journey. And the more we get comfortable with all of these, I'll say frequencies, all of these songs, all of these flavors, all of this conditioning, and recognize that it's just here to connect me with my inner light. That external world, the external is here to teach me that I have an amazing light within me, and it's teaching me how to connect to my light to navigate this amazing world. If you connected with anything, you acknowledge, what is your greater desire? Is it your desire? Is it for freedom, worthiness, or love? What is your energy? What is this cookie? What is it teaching you? What's it pointing you towards? What is it telling you? Telling you to just surrender to life. To recognize that you are amazing, you are beautiful, you are worthy, you are love. And the way that you get that is just recognizing and seeing your beauty and connected to your light. And that everything that's occurred to you up to now is just teaching you that everything that you're looking for is within you. We keep looking outside of ourselves for the beauty of life, and the beauty of life is within us. Whether we call it our light, our inner being, our power, God, beauty, it's within us. And at this point, just release all of the energy that you connected with. And if you want to physically do it, go for it. If you want to just shake it off, go for it. If you want to take a deep breath in and release all of the resistance you connected with. Take a deep breath in. And release all of the energy you connected with. And take another deep breath in. And release. Now imagine light. Imagine light. Light, the light of the beautiful universe just coming up and entering through this crown of your head. And see if you can feel that light entering through your crown. Imagine it bathing your head and see if that feels good. Platinum or gold. If you want to imagine the rainbow, just a rainbow. If you could see a rainbow coming, it's a rainbow laced with gold coming through the crown of your head. Imagine that light now coming through your third eye, through your forehead, and just awakening your knowing, awakening your clarity. See if you can feel the sensations of your crown and your third eye opening and awakening as this light bathes you. Imagine the light going through your face and coming in through your throat, just singing with your throat chakra, allowing you to speak truth, to flow truth, to radiate truth. Truth is just a song that will come and flow through you. And imagine the light going through your chest and then landing in your heart and just bathing your heart. Feel the sensations of the light in your heart just expanding and bathing. Beautiful. Now let's imagine the light of the earth. It's coming from the pristine earth. It's coming from the core of the earth. Just beautiful light just coming up from the core, going through all the layers of the earth and entering through the soles of your feet. Imagine the beautiful feeling of it just coming through your soles and grounding you to the earth, connecting you to the earth. You are safe and you are secure. You are held by the earth. Imagine that light coming up through the soles of your feet, bathing your calves, your knees, your thighs, coming in through the bottom of your spine. You can stand tall and strong, and you are supported by the earth, and you as a physical being have the strength, the security, capability. Imagine that light going in through your pelvis and lighting up your sacral chakra, where all your creativity flows, your worthiness for pleasure and joy as the light swirls, swirls, and swirls. Imagine this light now coming up into your abdomen. You can do everything. You can do anything. All of your desires are within your reach. You are capable. See this light just lighting up your solar plexus, reinforcing your ability to perform and to do. And imagine that light now meeting the light of the universal divine in your heart. Enjoy the explosion of light. Everything you want, everything you need, everything you desire is within you. And together we are going to calibrate to the beauty and the power of that light. Because you are all absolutely incredible. That was longer than I expected. Everybody feel into your bodies, and when you're ready to come back into the virtual room and share what you experienced. Gary has already shared, and I sort of spoke it during the meditation. It feels like fear. Like my mind is telling me I'm afraid to get better because it says I won't like it when I get there. Fantastic. Thank you, mind. I know that the truth is I have unlimited possibilities, and that life is meant to be of pleasure. And that's just fear talking. And I love you, fear, because you calibrate me to my truth. And my truth is I am going to find and enjoy and calibrate to all of the pleasures in life. All of the pleasures in life. And if I just have to go through fear and layers of fear and resistance, it does not matter. It doesn't matter. Gary, we will go and trek through all of the layers together till we calibrate to the truth of your light. The truth of the beauty of life. How does that feel? How does that feel? Ashley, my fear is really putting its foot down on not being comfortable with the unknown. Beautiful. Ashley, fantastic. It just feels more comfortable with what it knows, even if it was painful. Fantastic. That makes total sense, Ashley. There's a lot of people that are comfortable with their discomfort. We talk about it during each inspiration. And when you recognize that, oh, I'm comfortable being uncomfortable. I'm comfortable with my pain. I am sharing and resonating with other people in my pain. And you know what? I want to resonate and identify with others with my happiness. And it's just a switch, and you'll start to calibrate in a different way. So Ashley, it's the step. It's the step. It's almost like the step that we were talking about, that we're waiting for an outcome with meditation. So you're in there. It's okay. That's a step towards growth of recognizing, oh no, it's almost a self-sabotage, that it's the same that Gary's speaking to. And I don't like that word, self-sabotage. It's the comfort with the discomfort. It's the same word. But the same thing that Gary's saying is, my mind's telling me I'm afraid to get better because I won't like it when it's there. It's this, oh no, am I worthy? Get this? Am I worthy of happiness? And you are worthy. You are worthy. You are beyond worthy, and you are on the journey to connect with this worthiness. It's the journey. It's the same thing that Gary said. Can you, Gary and Ashley, see that you both said the same thing? Can you see it? And we are all worthy of being happy. Okay? And I see the hearts, and I see that's resonating, and it feels so powerful to me. feels so powerful. I have goosebumps all over my arms. And it's not just because I'm cold. It's because that was a really powerful moment. So Ashley, it makes sense, and you're beautiful, and it's an amazing part of the journey to recognize, oh, part of me doesn't really want to feel good because I don't feel worthy, and I am ending that song. No longer the play that I'm playing. No longer the script that I'm going by. I'm re-scripting my script, and I see, oops, code. Who writes code? Who likes programming? Who's ever done that? There's a line, there's code in there that's wrong. Oh, great, I found the code that's wrong. No, I really do want to be happy. Let's get rid of this one that says, if happy, go back to, are you worthy of being unhappy? Oop, no, let's be unhappy again. We're going to cut out that loop. We are going to cut out that loop. I don't know if that analogy made any sense, but it resonated with me. You guys tell me if I made sense. Sporty Jen. It felt like Gary's in and out. I floated into mom's womb and it felt cozy and warm, snuggled beside Robbie. Then suddenly I was out. One minute I was having fun, and the next moment I was sad and upset. Why me? Why does this happen? It's not fair. Playing with Robbie, happy and laughing, then sad again. In and out. My two boys were jumping about, having fun and chasing each other. I thought of me and Robbie playing, our innocence. I missed the fun and stuff with him. I missed the fun stuff with my sis. I missed them both. They ignited my light. I feel the resistance in my chest, upper tummy, my heart. Sporty Jen, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. And then, did you resolve that resistance? Because in there, it's just really interesting. We're talking to light, and yours is the same thing now. You've got a fear. So we talked about Ashley and Gary having a worthiness of being happy. You have a fear of being happy. And it's really interesting because you took it back to the womb where we were together and you're warm and connected, and then all of a sudden you felt disconnected. And you might have felt it more amplified than others because you had a buddy in there. So you had that physical connection in the tummy, and then you come out and you lost him and you're out into this world. And to be honest with you, Sporty Jen, a lot of my clients and friends have vocalized a recognition on their spiritual journey of feeling that disconnect from coming out of the womb. And if you think about it, how traumatic, and you guys know I don't like using that word. Can you imagine right now as an adult, all of us, in a womb, cozy and swimming and floating and being fed and pretty comfortable. And then all of a sudden, boom, we come out and it's cold. Heck, that happens every day when we wake up. Every day, cuddled in bed, the alarm goes off, or you wake up, and then now as it's getting into winter, maybe not in the summer, it's cold. It's not as pleasurable. So I see more and more, Sporty Jen, it's just so normal for us to have that moment of coming out of the womb as a reflection as we go through our spiritual growth. And you have that connection with Robbie. So again, feel into that resistance and recognize, wow, I got a gift early on. And I'm so in tune with myself that I connect with that moment coming out of my womb. And one of my girlfriends would always talk about that moment when she came out. And I was always like, ooh, that's really great. Like I never, and then more recently, I had that moment of recognizing that entry from the womb into the world where I felt like that moment of feeling disconnected from self and having that moment of feeling really alone. So I think it's my observation is I'm hearing it enough to feel like it's a normal vibrational feeling that we've picked up. And it's part of the normal conditioning, and we're going to use it to calibrate back to what's today's theme? Our light. Calibrate back to the beauty of our light. How does that feel? How does that feel? Okay, fantastic. Okay, Sporty Jen. Okay, Steve, the resistance feels like I'm pushing against myself. Okay, hold on. Okay, fantastic. My true self. Trouble is, and this is true too, I can't find a source of a true self. Like part of me, it never came in. Interesting, Steve. You always are deep. Okay, you said something else. Let me say, I can't identify the fear. but you have the fear. Then let's not identify the fear. Okay, the more I keep doing this, the more I recognize we don't want to push against where we are. So you connecting with the fear for me is a huge win. Because in the past, when we asked you to connect with your emotions, you haven't. So if that's all your body is ready to uncover for you, Steve, it's fantastic. If you want questions to help you understand more, I can ask them. The resistance feels like I'm pushing against myself. My true self. Trouble is, and this is true too, I can't find a source of a true self. Like a part of me, it never came up in. I think, Steve, this is compatible with all that you have continued to uncover during this inspirations, is that part of you is looking to connect with who and what your truth is. And I'm going to ask you to see if there was any moment that you have had a shimmer of your light, a shimmer of your knowing. And I know it exists because I remember the day I said to you, why are you in here? And you said, because it feels like truth. I feel energy and I know truth. So you know truth. Now there's loads of resistance within you to get to that truth. And guess what? We are here to continue, I'll say it, to power through until we get all the answers that you're looking for your ultimate freedom, connection, worthiness, and your absolute unconditional love. So my question to you is, can you feel a moment that you felt your truth and your true self you're calling, your light, I'm calling it. We can call it love. We can call it whatever you want to call it. Is there a moment or is there something that you do that you feel connected to that? Okay. And all of you write that answer, all of you, because that's a fantastic question. Haley, when the light entered my crown, third eye, I smiled and continued to smile throughout the whole practice. I felt a lovely sense of peace. Thank you. Okay, fantastic. And that was part of the thing when I was sort of thinking again, Manal, how are we going to talk about light? And then I'm like, no, I don't want to convince people we're light. Boom. I'm not going to do that. And I felt like I was there last time in the inspiration trying to convince. And I'm like, I am not efforting and I'm not making any of us believe anything. You all know I'm going to say what I believe my pillars are, but I don't want to make anybody. And so I'm like, we're not going to go on and on about convincing whether you're light and talking about, well, we're vibrational beings and blah, blah, blah. I said, no, it's not a lecture. Heck no. So then I said, well, Manal, why don't we just play with light? Why don't we see what happens when we start to imagine light? And there's still more games that I have. And see if we felt different while going and playing with light. And so the more that we feel the pleasure from light, the more then just gravitate towards meditations. If you feel good listening for the fireplace, like Steve and me, my heating, the whistle of that, play with that. If you feel good looking at flame, I don't know if any of you watch the flame of a dancing candle. It's a yogic cleansing ritual. That's a meditation, and I love it. And so sometimes I'll watch my fireplace or my fire or the candle, and it's a wonderful meditative. If that feels good, great. But what I'm going to introduce to you is how beautiful it is to play with light. How beautiful it is to play with light, because we are light. We radiate. We're brilliant. We're amazing. And keep finding ways to continue to calibrate to the beauty of ourselves and how good it feels, how good it feels. Gary, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. What do you agree with you, Manal? I think some new people should jump in now and enjoy your power. I like it. I like it. Enjoy my power. You know, it's not my power. I leverage all of your inner power. My daughter is tutoring one of our family friends' son, and the son is a brilliant boy. He's brilliant. He's labeled with ADD or ADHD, or I'm not sure which of them it is, and I hope I'm not being ignorant by not knowing which one it is, but anyway. He's brilliant. That young man is brilliant, and I always thought he was brilliant. And so the other day they were over for dinner, and then she said, well, Nisma's amazing, and she's doing this. And I said, no, he's amazing. She's a tool for helping him bring out his his brilliance, but it's him. She's a wonderful tool. So I see myself as a tool, and these are brilliant not because of me, it's because of we. Not because of me, it's because of we. And all of you have your light and your willingness to connect and play with your light, and I'm just the tool. I'm the tool that's speaking and engaging with it. So Gary, I love the way you say it because it feeds my ego, because I have one too, but it's we, not me, even though my initials are ME, and so I always sign everything with me, but it's we, not me. Okay, we're gonna keep saying that. It's we, not me. Valerie, I connected with a lot of sadness. Fantastic. And I love that it's anger, because anger is higher on the vibrational scale. Sadness is here, depression is under it, it's anger. So when you see your sadness, it transforms to anger. Fantastic, because it's actually closer to the higher vibrations. So I love when you go through sadness and then enter anger. Fantastic. And I know you said I think anger, but if you said I think anger, you felt anger. So that's wonderful. Gary says, no, it's you. It's scrolled to your comment. It's okay, it's we, not me, it's we. I have a lot of anger, which I guess is resistance. Good guess, Valerie. It's wonderful. Anger is a great resistance, particularly for those of us, not those that act out in anger because they repress their sadness, but those that are overwhelmed with sadness because they're not able to express their anger. Okay, so there's some people that don't acknowledge their sadness and they just come out in anger. Sometimes I am known to do that my anger is actually out because I'm not willing to be a sad victim person. And victim, I use that. I hope it came out right. So, but processing your sadness and then getting to anger is so powerful. So Valerie, we go on. It is resistance. I felt it in my jaw. Fantastic. And when I think about it, my eyes get tearful. Wonderful. When we went to the womb, instant tears. Fantastic. You were able to release. I think that the fear on what I talked about with weight is helping me calibrate to don't compare with others. Do not compare to others. We spend so much time. We all have different vibrational journeys. We all have different vibrational journeys. We cannot compare to others. I had a wonderful lunch, and I don't know if I had too much of the gluten-free focaccia bread. It was amazing, and I have some sort of food coma, but I hope I'm on my game, guys. I hope I'm on my game. But we were talking about how even our kids, and we're just trying to create this perfect arena for our children, and the awareness that they're living our vibrational pasts at time. So no matter what our intentions are and the better external conditions we may have created, we're still vibrational creatures, and they're going to live out the vibrational elements within us, and it's beautiful. Brenda, you're definitely on your game. Manal, thank you. Sometimes I feel like I have a pause and I don't know, but I'm so glad to hear that. Okay, we went to the womb, instant tears. Fantastic, Valerie. I think the fear on what I talked about with this weight is helping me calibrate to don't compare with others. Worthiness, it seems all to come back to my worthiness. Fantastic, Valerie. If every time you come back to worthiness, no matter which way you come, you're recognizing what the deeper meaning of your vibrational journey is. So every time if you come back to worthiness, you found a clue and you're like, it's the same clue. Yes, it's a celebration. Yes, it's a celebration. Fantastic, Valerie, fantastic. Wow, yes, I felt safe in the womb. I came into a chaotic environment and it never stopped. I think I've been wanting to go back to that safety and peace and comfort. Fantastic. Valerie, you can create it. It's in you. That's what today's subject is about, igniting your inner light. We have the capacity to create that safety and peace and comfort. It's within us. It's in our light, and it comes by going inside, connecting inside, and knowing it's perpetually with us. So fantastic, Valerie. Do you recognize the power of your awareness? Do you? Gary, trigger, sabotage, fantastic. And I'm going to stick that word in there, self-sabotage, self-sabotage. Fantastic, Gary. There is a regular conversation that you have that keeps questioning your worthiness. Fantastic. Just like Valerie. Wow. You guys keep all saying the same things to each other. We're all kitty corners saying the same thing in different ways. Yes, You are worthy. You are worthy. You're worthy to be healthy. You're worthy to be happy. You're worthy to be free. You're worthy to be creative. I don't know why I'm saying creative. It must be resonating with somebody right now. We are worthy to express, to be, to be, to be. We are worthy. And any misbelief in that is part of our vibrational journey. And it's fabulous. It's why we are here as humans. Fabulous. It's fabulous. As I break into High School Musical. Brenda, do not encourage my singing. Valerie, yes, when you say it, I do. But when I have the awareness myself, I don't really celebrate it or recognize the power. That's why you're here. We're powering through it together. In the beginning, when I recognized this tool of going into my body and then feeling all this, I would judge why I'm carrying all this. And now I realize, ooh, opportunity to tangle. Ooh, it's a clue. It's all part of the spiritual journey of recognizing the value in resistance and calibration. Brenda, yes, song, please. She's laughing. High School Musical, yes, yes. I listened and watched it so many times with my girls when they were younger. Okay, where am I? Gary, talking about trigger and sabotage. Trigger and sabotage. Are these going to be like, no, we're not allowed to say words. Okay, Sporty Jen. Separation anxiety early on for myself and Robbie. Twinfold. Fantastic, fantastic, Sporty Jen. Fantastic. Did you guys just get that sound language? That sound language? It's that separation that's teaching us to go back inside. Everything is in us. Everything is in us. Ashley, I'll be your backup singer if you like. I would love that. I would love that. Okay, where are we? Where are we? Gary, Steve, I know you're trying so hard, maybe too hard to dissolve any resistance. Steve is fantastic. And Gary, you're fantastic. And resistance is fantastic. And fear is fantastic when we know how to use them appropriately. Brenda, I love how you give alternative perspectives, Manal, and it's up to us to choose to take on another perspective. Fantastic. But Brenda, we spend too much time as a society thinking I'm right and you're wrong, and most of the time we're saying the same thing. I watch a lot of the arguments I get into with my loved ones, and I realize we're saying the same thing, but we just want to say it differently because we just want to talk. We just want to be seen and we just want to express ourselves. And so now more and more and more, particularly because of my teenage children, because of my journey with my children, I recognized how can we all be right? And obviously there's all those stories about the two sides of the coin. Do you see heads? Do you see tails? Guess what? You're both right if you're seeing heads or if you're seeing tails. So you listen to those stories and then I hear, oh, we can both be right. We can all be right. And a lot of people, again, I don't like talking about politics because then I get in trouble, but how can I be raised in this conditioning and then be raised in this conditioning and be wrong? How can we just honor that it's the conditioning that makes us see it from this lens? And even though I believe that sometimes some are right, I'm not going to dismiss that sometimes I feel that the other is very wrong, but I have to honor that they came from another way to see tails, even though heads is truly humanly the right thing. They came from conditioning to see tails, so they are not wrong, even though I'm right. I better stop before I get myself into more trouble, but you guys know what I'm saying because I'm always right. Okay, but they're always right too. We're all always right, okay? We're all always right. And there must be a song I can break into this. Okay, let's see. Valerie, flames are so beautiful to me. Oh my God, they're so beautiful to me, the way that they dance. It's been cool lately, so I should have a fire in my outdoor fireplace. I'll do a nighttime one. I don't know where Andrea isn't here right now, because I keep telling her I'll do a nighttime one, and this is the latest. You guys, 3 p.m., and I really feel like in the morning I've got my game on more, but I'm going to do a nighttime one. I'll have the fireplace going off in the background, and we'll have the flames to dance with. I love flames too. Okay, Haley, I'm watching my incense burn as we speak. Okay, fantastic. Sporty Jen, total shutdown. Protection, Steve. If you can't trust others, how can you trust yourselves? You've talked yourselves out of your worthiness, self-belief that you can be true to yourself. Beautiful. So beautiful. So beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, Steve. Okay, Steve. Okay, briefly, quickly. There was this moment connected to light. Fantastic, Steve. I'm excited. When I tried. Okay, hold on. Oh, this is why. Okay. When I tried to grab it or allow, zapped out, like Arizona without the afraid canyon. Other feelings too, but don't want to say the word. Then a part can't connect with, sort of. Other people see it, but I cannot, no, let it out of the box. Steve, is it fear, the Great Canyon, is it fear that's keeping you from it? I don't feel like we need to go to the root, to the root, to the root, to the root. You've got layers of resistance on resistance on resistance on resistance. Let's go through the first layer. We don't need to know why it's in there. Break that down and then go to the next layer and go to the next layer and go to the next layer. And you put a box, One of my favorite things when the kids were younger, when they wanted something like tickets to some, what am I going to say? One Direction. Okay. We talked about High School Musical. Let's go back to those days. Tickets to One Direction. I mean, there's a piece of paper, and if I gave them an envelope, they're going to know what it is. And it takes some of the fun out of gifts, right? Sometimes the fun is like the not knowing, that lack of that anticipation. Valerie, oh my God, One Direction. I'm so obsessed. Secretly, so was I. They were so cute. Okay. And anyway, they still are amazing. Their stories, their vibrational stories just amaze me, every single one of them. But anyway, and I'd wrap the tickets in a shoebox, so it's a nice size, and then wrap the shoebox and put it in another box and put it in another box and put it in another box, put it in another box, till they had this huge box. So they got their birthday gift and they're like, wow, and then wrap another box, wrap another box, wrap another box, until they ended up getting the ticket. So what does that have to do with you, Steve? We're going to have fun with every layer, It's fun. Whether you're at the innermost layer or the outermost. And actually, we all aren't in the innermost layer. We might be able to articulate it in a different way and talk about different ways, but we're all unwrapping and finding and calibrating and getting to until we get to the tickets. We're all doing it. So we're going to have fun. Find the fear, enjoy the fear. Don't resist the fear, and don't ask the fear, where is it coming from, more and more and more. And we'll have fun and fun and fun and more fun, wrapping and wrapping, unwrapping and unwrapping. Yeah, good, Steve, good. Valerie, yes, that's me, unable to express anger. Sadness is a cover. Fantastic. So Valerie, for you, anger is a gift. For somebody that's easy to get anger, it's sadness that you want to go to and acknowledge the sadness, because until you acknowledge the sadness, you're never going to let go of the anger. So for Valerie, if you're going to keep not expressing your anger, you'll never let go of the sadness. For somebody that's easy to express anger and they don't go to the sadness, they'll never let go of their anger. So it's going through the layers, and sometimes we're going this way and sometimes we're going this way, and it doesn't really matter because we're just going to keep getting to them. How does that sound? Steve, trust. It's sort of like trust. I felt sense, but it's something else has to come in that I know, someone else knows. Steve, I need more context. Trust, sort of like trust. I felt sense, but something else has to come in that I know, someone else knows. Tell me more. I almost went into Greece, guys. Okay, Valerie, how do you express anger? Okay, taste it, see it. You said, I think anger. No, I see anger. Honor your anger as equally as you honor your sadness. You don't have to express it. You don't have to beat anything up. You don't have to kick anything. Just express it. Sometimes I'm going to let you guys into a little secret of mine. Sometimes when I have all this energy, and I taught my niece, I think I taught one of my nieces and we just did it together, I would just like go, like yell without yelling, because I don't want people to hear me yell, but I would let that and express that out. It was my way of expressing this pent up energy that was in me. I just had to let it go out. But I didn't want to scream, because if I scream, people would think I was crazy. And I wish there was a locked up room that I could go in there and just yell, just like people go and do the boxing, because it allows them to get it out. Acknowledge your anger. And I don't think you're going to need to acknowledge it physically. I don't think you have it pent up in there in a way that you want to express it. Maybe you do. And if you want to punch a pillow, punch a pillow. But I don't think that from what I gather from your energy, but I can only gather from your, anyway, it doesn't matter. However your body needs to express it, write it down. Say I'm angry. Let yourself feel it. Don't say I think. Be I know I'm angry and that I'm hiding it. And then rip it up and then burn the paper or whatever you want to do. But acknowledge that anger and honor it and celebrate and love it. Jess, yell into a pillow can work. Lion breaths, exactly. Dance the furry, exactly. Just acknowledge it. And if your body wants to let it out, let it let out in the way that it wants to. Obviously, without hurting yourself and hurting other people. That's not the intention. The intention is to honor the anger. And you've suppressed it so much that it's built up with so much sadness. That's what depression is. Not unwilling to acknowledge all of those other layers of resistance because you're scared, you're doing whatever it might be. Fantastic. R, acknowledge the anger without expressing the aggression. R, beautifully said. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The feeling, not the action. Fantastic, R. Very well said. Thank you, R. Okay. Jess agreeing, R, really well put. Valerie saying, thank you, everybody. And I get to scroll. Brenda, you're definitely on your game. I read that, but I'll read it again. No, you're definitely on your game. And as she said, you're A game, but you guys can't see it. Oh my God. I crack myself up in case you all don't know. Valerie. Thanks, Brenda, for laughing with me. Okay. Okay, Valerie, yes, when you say it, do, but when I have the awareness, we already talked about this, Brenda, High School Music. Did I read everything, you guys? Gary, yes, Manal, fear and resistance hurts. Fantastic. Gary, honor it. You are so much farther than you were in the past. You did not even want to honor your feelings. I will not forget the first time you and Steve brought me to tears. I don't remember which inspiration it was. I said, feel into your feelings. And you said, what does that mean? You both said, what does that mean? Back to back. And I was like, whoa. Do you guys remember? Who was there? Who remembers? So now you're talking about fear. You're talking about resistance. You're talking about you're deconstructing your key lime pie all the time. And you're willing to see the cookie cutter. You are doing frickin'. Can I say that? Can I say that on InsightTimer? Amazing. Amazing. You all are growing. Every single one of you that are here. And I see the growth. I see the growth. I see the growth. And I think you feel it. And if you don't, it doesn't matter. Just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. Fantastic. Okay. Steve, we love you, but you have to love yourself. Gary, Steve, we love you. I'm just going to say, Steve, we love you. Steve, we love you. Steve, we love you. Okay. Valerie's loving on One Direction, and we love One Direction. Steve, we love you, and we love One Direction. Gary, Manal, we need a self-compassion meditation. Wait. Scroll away. To help the mood. Oh, you want a self-meditation, compassion meditation now? Do we have a bad mood? Okay, trust. Steve talking about trust. That I want to know more. We talked about this expressing anger. Let's see, Valerie. Yes, I've been in depression for most of my life. I just realized it's more disconnected from anger because I couldn't connect with it. And fantastic. You probably weren't allowed to express your anger. Probably when you were younger, you were shunned for being angry or showing you're angry, and it wasn't safe. So it was safer to just hide and to be depressed and for you to put it in yourself. Valerie, it's safe to be angry now. It's safe. It's safe. It is safe to feel your anger. It's safe to honor your anger. It's safe to celebrate your anger. And again, this anger isn't externally, it's recognizing it's guiding you towards something. With my yogic teacher, and we were talking about the different sutras, and I don't always remember all the different words, but we were talking about emotions and whether emotions were good and bad and how we're trying to get to neutral and to peace. But we talked about, or I don't know if we talked about it, or anyway, it came up like a mother bear, a mother bear, a mother bear. Okay, The other day on one of the social media platforms, I don't know which one, there was a picture of a deer swimming in the water. And then a bunch of oxes. Is oxes the right word in plural, guys? A bunch of oxes. Many oxes. Is that right? Anyway, there was a lot of oxes coming at that baby deer. And then out of nowhere, the mother deer goes in front of the oxes and ends up getting killed, and the baby survives. What oxen? Is it oxen? Is it oxen? How do you think that oxen felt going into that water, swimming as fast as she can, the deer in front of that oxen? Fear. She probably was feeling fearful as heck. Clarity, selflessness, love, compassion. And that made her go and swim and save her baby. Save her baby. Anger is wonderful. Anger is wonderful when it's used in the appropriate way and it's guiding you to clarity. Don't tell me that she was at peace and says, oh, I think I'm going to swim out there and protect my baby. No, there was an energy that was calibrating her towards her truth, which I will do anything for my baby. The mother bear is story. The mother bear who's going to protect her cub, and she's going to go in. If she sees a human or anything that's threatening her cub, she's going to go in there and show this great deal of aggression. And that aggression is not love. That's anger, or whatever you want to call that aggression. So our emotions are very healthy. Projecting them onto ourselves and our others is not. But being aware of, oh, there's anger. What is my anger telling me? Oh, this is not safe. Oh, there's boundaries I need to put in. Oh, this is not appropriate. And this relationship is something that's not healthy. And I'm going to make sure that I calibrate to something more healthy. So how are we going to take it, interpret it, and move it from there? Okay? How does that feel? How does that feel? So yes, Valerie, yes, it was safer to hide, be quiet, not cause a problem. I never learned how to be with my emotions, even though I was so sensitive to them. It is safe now. Exactly. I got the quiet. Don't worry, Valerie. It is safe now. It is safe now. It is safe for all of you now. It's safe. It is safe. And together we are going to create, and we have created, and we are creating the infrastructure, the vibrational and emotional infrastructure for us to hold each other in our journey towards self-awareness of ourself, of our emotions, of our feelings, and to calibrate higher and higher and higher towards what? The three. Worthiness. Look at me with all my sign language today. Today I'm an actor. Worthiness, freedom, and love. The three. And everybody talked about today. Who talked about worthiness? Valerie talked about worthiness. Gary talked about worthiness. We really didn't talk about freedom today. And we talked about wanting to be happy and wanting to be that. Good. I see the hearts going. Gary, oh yeah, I think I'm improving. That's why my inner freak, freak out is trying so hard to hold on for dear life. Yeah, fantastic. I'm sure sometimes it will be very difficult. Yeah, but get rid of that sentence. It's part of the fun. It's part of the fun. The inner freak, and love that inner freak. That inner freak is fantastic. That inner freak is sort of your buddy to growth and to getting to your improvement. That inner freak is the catalyst for that improvement. I think we need to start to love our inner freak. Gary, can we love the inner freak? Tell me how that. Tell me. Sporty Jen, the problem with being so angry is the more I feel it rising to the surface, the more I want to scream. But deep into the tears, I don't want to feel the childhood stuff. The original resistance and link to Robbie in his story too. So Sporty Jen, not everybody I would tell them to express their anger the way I'm telling Valerie. And that's why I said, okay, it depends on which side you are. Valerie, for me, is clear that she is hiding in sadness because she's not able to express the range of emotions. So she's playing, we're a piano, okay? We're a musical instrument. And Valerie is sticking to these keys because these ones aren't safe. But guess what? You can't play the song of life. I don't know what you guys are thinking about this analogy with just playing with some keys. You have to play them all. So I'm not going to say to everybody, I'm going to say honor your emotion. But if you're overindulging in anger, there might be other ones that you're not playing. For you, the problem with being so angry is the more I rise to the surface, the more I want to scream. But deep down, it's the tears. So is your anger keeping you from your sadness? So Valerie's sadness is keeping her from her anger. Valerie's sadness is keeping her from her anger. Is your anger keeping you from your sadness? Can you answer that, Sporty Jen? Gary says you're funnier every week. Yes, I do love my inner freak, stupid monkey. No, I just wouldn't let you guys see the real me. I was still like trying to be within my little box. Here's the box and here's the box and everybody's gonna get, so you guys keep seeing me come out of my box. The layers that we were talking about with Steve, the layers of wrapping paper are coming out until you guys see my inner light just flickering. Because you know what? All my friends that know me, I'm a bit crazy. Oh my God. Any of my group of friends that know me, they just, I will say or do anything. Anyway, so Gary, you're just seeing the real me. The other one was a bit just in that little box. Okay. Valerie playing her music and Sporty Jen saying yes. So fantastic. So Sporty Jen, you're the opposite of what I'm telling Valerie. For you, you got to recognize you're playing that anger card because you're not honoring your sadness. So for all of you, let's take inventory. Which keys, since we use the piano as the analogy, which keys are safest for you? We want to be able to play the whole range of the keyboard. Whole range. The high, the low, the sharps, the flats. We want to play them all. And if you're overindulging in a certain level of keys, you're not able to play with your whole, you're not in alignment. You're not singing your whole song. You're not fully, is this analogy getting too much? So let's just recognize, what are the keys I'm playing with? Am I playing with my whole keys? How much of a range of my self-expression am I allowing myself to do? So are you like Valerie, where you're hiding your anger and overindulging in sadness? Or are you like Sporty Jen, where you're overindulging in your anger and not in honoring your sadness? Or plug in a different word. Plug in frustration, plug in anxiety, plug in whatever emotional, vibrational level that you're stuck on. Huh? How's that? How's that? Valerie says it's a good analogy. Fantastic. Hey Gary, if Manal can show her inner freak and be okay with it, so can you. Brenda, I love it. Okay, so what else have I missed? Did we agree that it's oxen? Because it's really important to me. I could look it up after this, but I might forget. Okay, let me see. Okay, I think I'm up to date, guys. I think we're up to date with all of the comments. If I missed anything, let me know. Sporty Jen, I want it out. That's what I hear in my head. But the more I try to go there, the more overwhelming it becomes. And then I shut down. Okay, Sporty Jen, it's not about getting it out. It's about, let's calibrate to something else. Let's calibrate to something else. What are we calibrating to? Let's calibrate to truth, to acceptance, to I am, to honoring every single key. Who says that the C sharp is better than an F? Who said, I'm not really a musician, so I don't know why I'm getting myself caught up in this music analogy. We have been conditioned to say that happy is good, peaceful is good, joy is good, and anger is bad. I just gave an analogy. Where anger was fantastic. Not an analogy, a story in nature where anger was amazing. I mean, anger was necessary. Do you think the deer was self-judging of whether or not she should have been angry as the oxen? Thank you, Jess. Whether the oxen was racing after her baby? Do you think she judged whether that anger was appropriate? No, she did not judge that anger. So our problem is that we're judging all of the different notes as being bad or good. How if we honor them all? How have we come back, reconstruct us coming out of the womb and saying every note that gets played has a meaning? I want to calibrate to the note of full worthiness, full freedom, and full love. But I recognize that every note along the way is teaching me to get to this level. How does that feel? How does that feel? Geetha, just feel it in your body. Experience the body sensations. Yes, Geetha, beautiful. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. Just like that deer when the oxen was in it, she lived out her anger by putting out her truth. By allowing it to say, wow, this anger made her swim faster than she ever swam. It was not anger, it was fear. It was fear. It was fear. It was fear. Something's attacking your baby. What is it? Fear. That fear. And there's stories of people having superhuman strength when they're a child or something. Heightened fear, heightened emotion, giving them heightened power. How do we use our emotion as our power? How do we, guys, look at this? I have something coming out, something new. Our emotions as our superpower. Our emotions are a superpower. Empath is a superpower. What did you say the other day, Valerie? Curiosity is our superpower, and our emotions as our superpower. How does that feel? Sporty Jen, does that make it different for how you feel about your emotions? How does that feel? How does that feel? Brenda's proud of Gary. She's got him. Fantastic. Cynthia, when you play in a minor chord, it will make the major chord sound super beautiful, and they're all part of the song. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes. So guys, we today somehow are a keyboard. Okay, today we are a musical instrument, and actually music and light, they're aligned. They're both vibrational. So today we're looking at ourselves like we would a musical instrument, singing a song. We're a song. Do you want to be restricted in your notes? Or do you want to do like Cynthia says, the minor and the major just come together and amplify the music in the song? In orchestra, again, I don't know a lot about music, so I don't know why I keep going into music, but in orchestra, you have all the different instruments and they're all coming in at different levels and they all play together beautifully. That's our rainbow of emotions. That's our rainbow. Let's honor every single emotion and let go of the judgment and resistance that we have to them. What hurts with anger is our resistance to the anger. It's not the anger that hurts because that's a natural expression of life. Okay, this is really a strange story, but I'm going to talk it. I know many friends that have trouble going to the bathroom out in public. Whether they pee or poop, I can tell you stories of different friends that cannot go to the bathroom. They have resisted one of the natural human, or we're out in the woods and we got to go to an outhouse. What of a resistance now we have to one of the most natural expressions avoiding from our bodies. And how bad does it feel when we're resisting that need to go to the bathroom? How painful it is. We can all imagine a time that there was not a clean bathroom or we had to use an outhouse. When we use an outhouse, I'll give you guys what I do. I don't breathe. I tense up my body. I'm like, I have to do this. And I'm like balancing the need to go to the bathroom and my discomfort with the environment. This is what we're doing with our emotions. It's not the anger that hurts. It's the judgment and the resistance that we have that we're holding, just like the story about the outhouse. And so if we start to recognize them, the layers and the layers and the layers, and we start to honor them, we let go of those resistance and boom. The anger can express itself and guide itself towards putting in clear boundaries. The sadness can express itself in recognizing that I miss my loved one that has passed. My frustration can express itself and I can reach out to help. I can be clear with boundaries. You guys talk about boundaries. How to talk about boundaries? We just talked about boundaries. That if I honor the emotions that I feel triggered, I'm going to use the word, Gary, I'm using it. We feel triggered and say, oh, that's because somebody didn't feel good. I'm going to put in a boundary that says, hey, this doesn't feel good and this is not okay. Boom, I created my boundary because I honored my feeling. But if I don't honor that anger, then the person does it again and again and again and again. And then all of a sudden, guess what I'm in? I'm in an unhealthy relationship. I'm in a toxic relationship. I'm in something that's I got to get out of because now it's really dangerous for me and for that other person. Good? How did we get here so deep, guys? Who said what that made that so deep? Cynthia. It was you, Cynthia, talking about the minor chord and the major chord. Fantastic. We need to enjoy all of the music. And if we were resisting that minor chord, playing with that major chord, we would not have the music that we have. Good? Sporty Jen. I remember when I heard Brenda, Manal, you're definitely on your game. You forgot the A, Brenda. You forgot the A. Okay. Sporty Jen, I remember when I heard what happened to Robbie when I died. Okay, wow, okay. Sporty Jen, you're going to make me cry. Okay, I remember when I heard what happened to Robbie when I died. I screamed a scream that we'll never forget. Then my dad walked into the room and I stopped and I couldn't let him see the emotion. I told you were going to get me. Beautiful, and not, I mean, obvious. Sporty Jen, beautiful. She brought me to tears, guys. I don't even know what to say about that, but yeah, it's beautiful. Sporty Jen, I don't know what to say. Yes, you had the reaction, the normal, and then it just shows your need to repress the natural reaction when you lost your twin. Sporty Jen, I was on a flow. Oh my goodness gracious. Did you let that scream out, Sporty Jen? Let me ask. Okay, now that I can get myself focused again. Did you go back, Sporty Jen? Did you go back and let that scream out? Is that scream suppressed in you? You might need to let that scream go out. And you also might need to ask yourself, what was that scream? And let that energy go out. You may have actually given us a really big clue into why you're keep struggling, I'm going to use that word, with processing your emotion. Because you had a guttural emotion at that moment, a natural one, and then you suppressed it and you stuck it in you and you buried it really deep in the same moment. And I don't know if you did that from the, I'm sorry, don't cry. No, you actually gave us a huge clue. You got, Sporty Jen, do you see that clue that you gave it us? You need to process that emotion that you dug back in yourself. So there was a moment, and I felt the intensity of that moment. There was a moment that you just suppressed. You talked about what we've been talking about during this whole meditation about Valerie suppressing her anger, and it comes out in repressed and sadness, and you not willing to. So that, yes, Brenda, the fact that you shared this with us today is moving forward. And just go back to that moment and process all of the complexities of that moment. Process the sadness, tell the Sporty Jen, share them. What were they? It was probably shock, anger, sadness, loss, and then the suppression was fear and inability to express yourself. Process, say them all, and recognize that in one moment, there was a strong intensity, the highest vibrational level of all of them. And then feel that moment and then let them all go. Honor the beauty of it and let it all go. Let it all go. Sporty Jen, how does that feel now that we moved past that? How does that feel? Gary, beautiful. Sporty Jen, I think your awareness shows you're healing more than you think, and he's winking. Fantastic. Brenda, fear is based on our conditioning. F equals false, E equals evidence, A equals appearing, and R equals real. Fantastic. I'm going to read that again. F equals false. Fear is based on our conditioning. F equals false, E equals evidence, A equals appearing, and R equals real. So, Brenda, is that saying that the fear is a false perception? Talk to me more, Brenda, about that. Is the fear is a false perception? For what E is the evidence of what's around you and what's appearing, the perception, and then R is real. Talk to me more about the real, and then R, it's a real emotion. So you recognize that it's a illusion. This is what you're saying. It's illusion based on what's outside of you, but it's a real sensation. And so if you recognize the abstract nature of it, because you're applying it to something that really doesn't exist, but the realness of the feeling, that's where the liberation is. Is that what you're saying, Brenda? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Andrea, you must have heard us. We were talking about you later, that the 3 p.m. is my nod towards trying to get a late evening one for you. And we are going to do one by the fireplace with you in the evening. This 3 was a big one, a big one. Hello to you, Andrea. It's so nice to see you. Okay, Sporty Jen. Okay, let's see. I think Brenda's saying it's a beautiful analogy about the music, and then Steve saying, I get it. Fantastic. Gary, Sporty Jen talking to Gary. I have an intellectual awareness, but the body and emotional side, I think I struggle more. Fantastic, Sporty Jen. That's the way it all is with all of us. You flip here, and then this catches up. You flip here, and this catches up. And we're doing it together in a safe place. It's normal. It's normal. And if you recognize you have the intellectual awareness, then you're getting there. That's your awareness, and then we shift the energy, the emotional. And you can't shift the emotional really without the intellectual awareness. So you're doing it right. Andrea, sorry, I did EFT tapping next door. Okay, fantastic. Okay, I love EFT, by the way. Okay. Sporty Jen, can you have a toxic relationship with yourself? Yeah, you can have a toxic relationship with yourself. And any time you have a toxic relationship with anybody else is an indicative of how you're not being true to yourself. So absolutely. And so looking at relationships with others, if they're not healthy, it's a real big clue that there's something in yourself that you're not feeling is worthy or free or love. So Sporty Jen, absolutely. Look at all of your relationships with everybody and see where you mirror it within you. Every relationship is a mirror to a judgment you hold within yourself. And the more you're open to that, and I'm going to say it from the negative, less resistant to it, open and accepting of it, the more you will free yourself, because you don't take anything personal and you're willing to look within yourself for every relationship you hold. It's powerful. If everything that occurs to you, you say, that's curious. Where did that vibrational story come from? This is curious. Is this a part of my cookie cutter story? This is curious. How does that feel? And you keep investigating until you get it. So yes, Sporty Jen, absolutely. And for Mattain, Manal language, we're not going to call it a toxic relationship. So when we talk in terms of the human language we all talk about, yeah, we can. By the essence of what you're asking. From us, as our growth orientation and the way that we looked at things empowering, it's a awareness that everything that happens to us is a reflection of what's within us, and we're going to use it as an opportunity to grow. Got it? Got it? How does that feel? Gary says you're on your M game. Yeah. Okay. Sporty Jen, I can't. I'm terrified. It was all of it. The silence was the hardest. Sporty Jen, I think, like everybody just said, the fact that you shared it and this moment came out today, and I'm sure it's a moment that you've buried from yourself, is your bridge to healing. And I don't use the word healing often, but I feel like that was a really, obviously it's a really intense moment. You just heard that your brother died. You reacted naturally, and then you curbed your reaction because it wasn't safe. And that took a lot of self-control and a lot of resistance. So fantastic. So when you're ready, and doesn't have to be now. You opened, and you don't, maybe it already happened. So you don't even have to do anything. And just honor that terror. Oh, I'm terrified. Honor it. but you let it out. You let it out. It was a powerhouse of an awareness, of a moment that was so, you shared with us a moment that was so emotionally charged because it came to you. So that means that it has moved and it has shifted. Leave it until it comes back in the most natural way again. But you've done it. You did it. You did it. Oh my God, Gary, you crack me up. Okay. Let's see. Steve, the basis of all fear is time. Yeah. Steve always says the deep, well, you all say the deep stuff, but yes, I mean, the basis of all fear is death. Death and time are so correlated. And the thing is, with time and death, you just don't know when it is. The basis of all fear is control. Basis of all fear is death and control. We are going to die, and we don't know when. Could be now, could be in the future, most likely in the future, because right now we're all still alive, but it could be at any moment. So time is an unknown commodity. Death is associated with that unknown commodity. And so the basis of all fear is time and it's death. Fantastic. So how do we let go of that fear? By being in alignment with death and realizing, my belief now, my belief, my belief, my belief, we never die. Holding that knowing that we're all perpetual is so empowering to me. So adopt an empowering belief. For me, the belief that this has my inner light is my soul. We got to come back always to the title. Today it's about igniting your inner light. It's my soul that has going to carry on and on and on, and has come from stories and is aligned and connected to even people that I have the greatest conflicts with. Wow. 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 Powerful. Powerful. So then I start to fear death less. I recognize it's the physical. And then I say, oh, so don't get attached to the physical. Don't get attached to the physical. Boom. There we go. What happens if you don't get attached to the physical? If we're not attached to the physical, what are we attached to? The internal light. And it's not even attachment. Because the light, there's nothing to attach to. It's just going on and sparkling and doing. There's nothing to attach to. How does that, you guys? We concluded something really, 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 really powerful. Thank you, Steve. You led us, Steve, you led us there brilliantly. The basis of all fear is time, death, and control. And we recognize that time is infinite on the spiritual level, and the connection to the spiritual is through our connection with inner, universe, and connection to earth. And that's the basis for surrendering and trusting. Boom. We can work together on that. We can calibrate together to that. We can muscle together there. Who's in? Who is into that? Brenda saying correct and yes about the fear. Andrea, better late than never. Okay, let's see. Where are we, guys? Valerie, I read a book about how the soul returns home when we physically pass. It was so beautiful. It's no secret. You guys know how much I love reading about death, because I feel like the answer to death gives the answer to life. Anyway, you guys know by now you know that I love everything, and I'm just curious, and I just studied, and I love religions, and I love just all of these things, and what is it all saying the same? Right. How do I make this right? Because everything's got to be right. Everything's right. Even if it's said in the negative, they're still saying the same thing. But I'm like, oh, I don't want to say it in the negative. I'm going to say it in the positive, and then it becomes the same thing. Fear and love, same thing. Or fear and trust, it's just which way are you saying it? I'm like, oh, people are fearful. I'm going to say it from this way. Boom. Go with it. Boom. Go with it. Go with it. Okay? Gary, I want your confidence. I love it. Fantastic. My confidence in death, or my confidence in what? What do you want the confidence in? Neil, did you change your profile pic? What you take with you is the account of your good, bad actions. Yes. Neil, yeah. Yes. What you take with you is your good. And I do like really imagining the good on the right because we're conditioned to that, and the left. And then I like imagining that I don't even have to count my bad because I know that I'm just so over with good. So I stopped even looking and counting at the bad because I know my intention is love. And I love just recognizing that it's just intention, and that I'm going to come in and always say that my intention is love and goodness and care and just, I'm going to say it again. I said it a lot, but I'm going to say it again. It's love. My intention is love. My intention is goodness. My intention is generosity. I love generous people. Like, I love generosity of heart and generosity of care and generosity of time. I love generosity. And so I stopped counting the bad. When I was younger, I'd sit in bed and sort of think about it all. And then I realized, intention. And so that's why were you on last time when I called it like the evil Manal? Like, sometimes that even Manal, there's an intention that is impure. There's an intention that sort of feels like I was hurt and I want that person to hurt. Like, and I recognize, and that's why I call it evil Manal, because I acknowledge it. Whoa, that's not coming from intention of love. That's coming from intention of hurt. And when you're hurt, what do? You want to hurt other people. Or it comes from intention of victim. Oh, I feel hurt, or something's not working out, so I come from a place of weakness, so I can get people to say, oh, poor you, Manal, let me help you. And so it makes me feel more worthy, or whatever it might be. So join me in calibrating to intention. And what are the intentions we want to calibrate? I'm going to piggyback off of you, Neil. The intention of goodness, the intention of beauty, the intention of love, the intention of celebration, the intention of humaning as a verb, a fabulous verb, the intention of care, compassion, radiance, light, brilliance, allowing, flow. What else intentions you guys want? What else intentions do we want together? Brenda, or letting go of wanting to control, because we don't have control of our death. I've been there and I am no longer afraid. Fantastic. And Brenda, how did you overcome the fear of death? How did you overcome your fear of control? How did you fall into it? Andrea, I'm not afraid of death, only afraid of not living fully enough. Fantastic. So Andrea, that's a form of fear of death, because it's still a form of fear of lack of control. So you can recognize that your fear of death, you have honored it, but there's still a fear of lack of control, and that there's a calibration to freedom that you can keep working towards. So it's still a defined formula for control. Oh, I don't mind dying. God, take me when you want, but take me happily in bed. I just don't want to be da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Because why? Because you feel out of control. So it's really powerful when you recognize that's still a form of being out of control, and you just surrender. Andrea, how does that feel? And Neil, I need to know if you did change your profile pic. I'm pretty sure you did. Brenda, I was put in a death situation. I realized that I couldn't do a damn thing about it and to accept it. Fantastic. And then how much longer did you live beyond that? How much longer? And that's why I love near-death experiences, because you learn to accept and surrender. That thing that Sporty Jen was talking about, intellectually versus fearing emotionally. When you come to near-death experiences, you are forced to feel it. And most people start to recognize that surrender is where you get the peace. And so you're like, oh, why do I have to go to such extreme heights to realize that I just need to surrender? I can learn from Brenda. Just gonna learn from Brenda. For so far 1 year. Fantastic, Brenda. I celebrate your life. I celebrate. Gary, I think I still fear death. That takes time. Yeah, it's an awareness, Gary. No different. It's no difference. Fantastic, Brenda. Neil, oh well, it's a real photo and I added some extra color. Okay, fantastic. I know it was real, but I didn't know if it was a changed color from before, because I know that you usually came up with a white t-shirt, I think. I don't remember what it was, but I don't remember it being this. So I'm checking that you're the same Neil is mostly what I'm doing. So that's what the intention of that question is. Okay, fantastic, fantastic. So Neil is the same Neil. You guys, it's the same Neil with a different added color, real photo, real color. Steve, I like what Betty White says. Okay, let's see what Betty White says about death. No one really knows, but now they know the secret you can ask them when you get there. No one really knows, but now they know the secret you can ask when they get there. Yes. Neil, sorry, no, it's not my first time here. Okay, fantastic. Neil, fantastic. Brenda, what an amazing discussion. Excellent. I feel like it was not, but it never really is what I think it's going to be. We did accomplish my intentions, playing with light. Did you guys like playing with light? Did you like playing with light? 1, 2, do you feel better? Do you feel better? 3, are you happy? Are you happy? Are you happy? 4, you ask me a question. 4, you ask me. The hearts are coming. I feel really good. I feel really complete. Do you guys want anything specific? Any topics that you want to cover? Oh, wait, Neil says, sorry, no, it's my first time here. Thanks. Oh, fantastic, Neil. No, I read it wrong. Okay, fantastic. So you're a different Neil. There's another Neil that comes with a different profile pic. Fantastic. Well, it's a nice picture. I can see that you've got the background. It's really small and the greens with you. Well, welcome, 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 Neil. So it's your first time? Okay, it's fine. Fantastic. Sometimes I read and I like process something different. Sporty Jen, can you sing, please? No, you guys can't ask me to sing. It will come out naturally, but I can't be... I can't. One day I'll sing you guys the cat. I told you guys my cats are potty trained and they have a potty song. One day it will come out. I have Neil, please come back. Please don't hear me talking about singing potty songs and ever you tell me to sing and not come back again. I hope you were here for a while. Yes, sing. Oh my God, you guys are terrible. Neil, your life will never be the same after being here with Manal. Upgrade. You guys crack me up. Super freak. What is it? Freak out. I kept saying, Manal, what's that freak song? What's that? And I'm like, it's the freak out song. And then I haven't listened to it. I will play it one time. So true. They all say, Neil, don't be scared. We're really a great clan of people that just want to love. We just want to love and overcome our fear of death, overcome our fear of control, overcome our fear of time, overcome our fear of fear, overcome our fear of sadness, overcome our fear of anger, overcome our fear of boundaries, overcome our fear of relationships. What else do we want to overcome? Brenda, and Manal really does her inner freak out. I really do. You guys, my friends haven't been on lately when I've been more in the normal Manal. And they just wouldn't let me. I'm sure they will give me a hard time. Like, Manal, what the heck? What else are we afraid of? We're afraid of the inner freak. We're afraid of monkey mind. We are overcoming together all our fears to calibrate to our inner light, to truth, to alignment, to flow, to trust, to beauty, to celebrating our humanness. What else? What else? Fear of playing small. Fantastic, Andrea. Fear of self-sabotage. Gary's new word, our bad word that we can't say. Fear of playing small. Fear of self-sabotage. Of not calibrating to our highest potential. Fantastic. 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 We are going to take those fears and look at them. Remember Stranger Things, you guys? I keep talking about Stranger Things because we're having fun with it. And he said, you look at that fear, you get rid of the fear by looking at it and saying, I am not afraid of you. You look at fear straight in the eye and say, I am not playing that game anymore. I am not. Oh my God, I don't know why it just reminded me when we were younger, my son, my baby boy, not quite baby anymore, my baby boy was scared of monsters and he was scared of something coming out of the closet. I blame us because I'm just admitting it. How can I admit it in such public? When he was too young, I think we watched all the Harry Potters with him. The girls were older, the nieces were older, and we watched Harry Potter, and it started to get darker in the different series. I think he was too young. I blame me and Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter, but he was exposed to it way too young. And he was always fearful of the closet and under the bed. Oh my God, am I sharing this? He's a big boy now. He's not fearful anymore. Anyway, how did he overcome it? He stared it in his eye and he said, that's it. I'm not going to be fearful of you anymore. And he would tell me, can you check in the closet? Can you check under the bed? Can you this and that? And I didn't overindulge in the fear and I didn't undermine it. I honored it, but I didn't play it up like, oh, we just sort of like, it was a factual thing. It's like, okay. And, we addressed it and whatever, and he overcame it. But he overcame it when he was willing to recognize, I'm not going to let you have control over me. We are not going to give control to time, to control, to fear. Do I have to list it all again? I don't think I have to list it all. We are going to align with truth, with light, to beauty. To ourselves. We're amazing. We're amazing. We are frickin', said it twice. I hope it's an okay word. Amazing. Sporty Jen, Doctor Who, the Daleks. We hid behind the sofa and looked out. Yes. Poltergeist, that girl. I don't even think I watched Poltergeist, but that girl with her long hair like mine today in front of the TV that's staticky, that gives... It scares the heck out of me. Still to today, if I saw that girl, there's something about her that's just so freaky. So, yeah, fear. We're not going to let fear. We're going to look at it and we're going to say, you know what, little girl? I can see your fear. And I'm not going to let you scare me anymore. Manal, your example of your son is a perfect example of false evidence appearing real. Fantastic. Oh, I see it now because you don't have it. False evidence appearing real. Fantastic. When you had F equals false, E equals evidence, I didn't read it out that. Love it. Oh my God. Steve, oh my God, about what? Steve, what are you oh my godding? The little girl. She's so scary. That little girl is so scary. Why is she so scary? Oh my goodness. So love between Gary and Brenda, love between us all. Okay, fantastic. So this is where I tell you what is coming up. How is it Thanksgiving in a week? So what is it? Today, November 17, igniting your inner light, but we already did that. It will be online soon. 11:22, so next Tuesday? I think it's Tuesday. Anybody, if I'm wrong, tell me, but I'm pretty sure it's Tuesday. At 9 a.m. or 9:30. It says 9, but I think it's 9:30, but it might be 9. One of those two times, from living in the past, future, to living in the now, which was interesting because we started this whole conversation about talking about light is about being present. And then we went off onto a different little place, but it's about being present. The key to life is being present. There's so many keys to life, but one of the keys to life is being present. On the 24th, I'm really excited about our Thanksgiving appreciation and Thanksgiving appreciation, community and meditation. So we're going to come on for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. It's American. I know it's only in America, Thanksgiving, but we can still celebrate Thanksgiving with our world friends. I know we're from everywhere, from Canada. I'm a fellow Canadian. From the whole world, I know, but we can all come because it's American Thanksgiving, and I happen to live in the States, and many of us happen to, and we'll do this for other holidays. We don't have to just do it for Thanksgiving, but this is the first time it just came to me. We'll come in and just talk about what we appreciate. 5-10 minutes of that, and then love on each other. We'll just all tell each other how much we love each other. We love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, Brenda. I love you, Steve. I love you, Gary. I love you, Sporty Jen. I love you, Ray. I love you, Neil. Whether the new Neil or the old Neil. I love you, Valerie. We'll just love on each other and just tell each other how much we appreciate each other. And then we will do a little meditation. was a 5-10 minute one just to get ourselves grounded and just set the intention to enjoy whatever we're doing. I know Thanksgiving can sometimes be lonely. I think a couple of years ago, I don't remember one, it was a lonely one. And I wrote about how holidays can sometimes be lonely. And I think it was Christmas. I don't know when it was. One of the holidays, just there was a feeling, and I'm like, you know, and I wrote it, and I don't know where it is. I should dig it up and blog it somewhere. But it was really about how recognizing that the illusion, talking about the fear that Brenda's talking to, that illusion that everybody's having fun and connected and doing everything, that illusion makes us feel sometimes disconnected from self, and how to go back into self. So we'll talk about that. Andrea, I love you. Brenda, I love you too. Gary, before or after cocktails, it's in the morning. It's 10 a.m. So it's when probably the turkey will be in the oven in about an hour or two, maybe. It depends how early everybody does Thanksgiving different times. But 10 a.m. My time, Eastern time, New York time. 11:28, maintaining homeostasis in life. So really it's about equilibrium and finding the calibration to truth, to our inner light. Very similar to today's topic. How many different topics can we talk about? And then I'm just not even going to read Brenda and Gary's little jabs at each other. Okay, 12:2, dealing with loss. Dealing with loss, we talked about it today a bit, and there's no secret about dealing with loss, honoring the feelings, honoring the emotions, recognizing the range of them, the host of them. We talked about it today. We talk about the same thing every day, but it's the use cases, being specific, the growing, it's lovely. It always comes out differently. It always comes out so differently. And that's it. The topics that we're going to talk about that I haven't scheduled yet is about talking about blame, how to shift or reframe blame and guilt, laughter as a healing, burnout. We wrote down about burnout, something about time, quieting the mind, worrying about health, creating healthy boundaries, manifesting, how to create the life that we desire. That's what Mattain means. Mattain means attaining the authentic life, attaining the life you desire. And this one, I'm really excited about this one. Psychological effect of body pain. So it really talks about fear and stress and emotions. Brenda, what about death? Brenda, I'll stick death on there. We've done death before, but we haven't done it in a while, and it's one of my favorites. Maybe we'll call it death and control this time. Okay, wrote it down. It's in the handy dandy notebook. My Blues Clues. Oh, now I'm gonna go into Blues Clues. I wrote it down. Okay. Oh, and we were talking about this. You guys remember how many, you guys can see it? We were talking about this. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, think again. This is from first grade. I don't know which of my children, but all three of them got it in first grade. And we were talking about it three inspirations ago. Sporty Jen, how about the beginner's guide to playing your piano? I'm just going to laugh. Gary, thank you for your gift. Brenda is feeding Sporty Jen's humor. I'm not going to comment. Maybe I'll just sing. Can you all accept me for who I am? Can you love me? Okay, fantastic. Valerie, isn't that quote so cute? It's in the kitchen. It's not really out showing in the kitchen, but I see it like frequently. Like I'll open a cupboard or whatever, and it's moved to different places, and it's just so fantastic. Okay, anything else? Anything else, everybody? Valerie, yes, it's amazing. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, think again. Think again. Anything else? Anything else, you guys? I am feeling fabulous. I am feeling fabulous. You are all fabulous. You all bring me so much joy. I'm really having fun on this journey with you all. Life is fantastic. Everything we've gone through is fantastic. We are learning how to use the past as our tool. We are learning how to use the past as our tool to calibrate to our truth. And it is amazingly fun. And we'll keep doing it with laughter. We'll keep doing it with pleasure. We'll keep doing it with joy until we get there. And where's there? Here. There is now. There is not a destination. There is just feeling the present moment more and more each day. And how do we do that? That we recognize we're on a journey. We're not waiting for outcome. We're not waiting for the external. We're not waiting for things to change. We're just accepting everything that is as is. And we'll keep looking at conditioning that's kept us from is until we come back to is. How's that? I see all the love. Thank you all again. I love you all. We are doing it. We are doing it. Fantastic. You guys are all amazing. Okay. So unless I hear something, I'm going to do, it's actually quite hard, you guys. And you know me, I don't use that hard, that H word very often. I don't use that H word. We're going to start calling that word, that H word. It's sort of hard to press that end live because it's just so much fun. Is that the normal Neil? There's the Neil, normal. There we go. Oh no, now it goes to brilliant, love it. Fantastic, normal Neil. I'm so happy to see you. I was scared if we like put too much focus on you. You're like, I'm out of here. Jess, thank you for you, Jess, and everybody. It was fantastic, and it's fun. That's a night. It's fun that it's night. Okay, night is fun. I won't be so scared that whether I'm too tired at night. Ooh, is she going to be too tired? I have the whole day, and then all of a sudden at night I have to do it. Haley, thank you. Thank you, thank you. So I was saying how difficult it is to end the live because it's so fantastic, the energy, and you're all fantastic, and I can talk to you forever. But we will do it again next Tuesday. Haley, 10 p.m. for me here in England. Well, fantastic. Fantastic. Andrea, lunchtime, perfect. So Andrea, is this late enough that you like this time or did you want it even later? Because I keep pushing to the PM for you, Andrea, for you, for everybody. But Andrea's the one that said, can we have them later? So she doesn't have to wake up at 4 a.m. when I do them earlier. Is this okay, Andrea? Love this time. Okay, fantastic. And oh, I love you. And I love you too. Okay. I love you all. Thank you. We will see you on Tuesday. Join the group. Attain your authentic life. Attaining your authentic life. We keep the conversation going. Going and going and going. You are all fantastic. Love you all. And let go of the control of time, of life, and just flow. And let your inner light just glow and radiate the truth of the beauty of who you are. And I see the beauty in all of you. And I'm just so honored that you're all here today and every day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My love, always.